Hey guys, here it is, another beautiful day, and we're out for another walk.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago we did a video on kind of our weight loss journey, and you guys responded pretty well to it and gave us some ideas. And now I think we're just gonna kind of retouch that a little bit and cover some things that we talked about that we think we missed the first time.
Yeah.
So I hope you'll stick around. Hi, I'm Rich.
And I'm Robbie, and you found our channel before it's too late.
On our channel, we're just trying to share some of our life experiences, some of the mistakes we've made along the way, in hopes that it helps somebody else. So if you do get some help from this, or maybe you're just entertained by the video, it'd be great if you would like that video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. It'd also be great if you leave a comment for us. It's encouraging to us, and maybe it'll be encouraging to other people.
Yeah, so I think one of the big things for both of us has been to try and increase our fluid intake. For me, it's been water. Fluid intake does not count as beer or wine, right?
No, that's right.
So I'm a big water person. A long time ago, someone shared with me that I should be drinking half of my body weight in fluid, in ounces.
Right.
And that is hard to do, but that is something that I try and do. And what I try is to have it all in roughly by 6 p.m. And in doing that, for me, that helps a little bit. So I'm not getting up and going to the bathroom all night long. I definitely do think it keeps me well hydrated, makes me feel full, helps my skin. Just overall, it's good to have water as a good liquid to take in. Now, Rich, on the other hand, has increased his fluid intake, not so much with water because you're not a big fan of it, but what are you doing?
Yeah, so for my fluid intake, it's mostly unsweetened tea. And I know there's stuff, if you read it out there, that it doesn't really count if it's not just water, but for me it counts, right? So it helps me to not be hungry. I think the flavor in the tea keeps me satisfied from perspective of I have a taste, right? It's not just plain water, but it does. It keeps me from eating as much. Let's be clear about that. And I think I went to my doctor recently, and he told me it was crazy for me to try to drink half my body weight in ounces in whatever liquid. And I know there's people watching this that are around my age and guys, and if you're drinking that much, you're literally going to the bathroom every 15 minutes. Yeah. And maybe that's the goal, right? That's how you're burning your calories, is you're up and running to the bathroom all the time. Wasn't feasible for me, so I'd probably drink, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 ounces of tea a day.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where all my liquid's going in at. So the second tip for this video, we think it's super important to get on a good sleep schedule or get a good sleeping habit.
Yeah.
There's studies out there that'll tell you that you're going to take in up to 300 less calories a day just by getting the right amount of sleep.
Can't eat when you're sleeping.
That's right. You can't eat when you're sleeping. And for me, if I don't get, it's 6.5 to 7.5 hours of sleep is fine. For Robbie,
I have to have minimum of 8 to 8.5. That's kind of my perfect spot.
Right. So, but we're different in that.
Yeah.
But both of us find that if we're not getting the number that we need, or that our body is asking for, that it's a lot easier to say no to the exercise part. Right. Like getting out here and doing this walk. If I was going on too much or too little sleep, I'm less likely to find the motivation to go out and get the walk in for the day.
Right. Yeah. So I think Rich and I are probably in agreement on this as well, that really ultimately the biggest thing, I mean, you can look at your exercise, you can look at your diet, your calorie intake, your water intake, your sleep patterns. All of those are huge. But ultimately, for me, and I think for Rich as well, it's a mindset. So um, for me, want I want to be healthy. I want to take care of this body that God has given to me. I want to be able to move. I want to be mobile when I'm older. I want to be able to get down on the ground and play with my grandkids. I want to run and chase them. I don't want it to be about, and it's hard. It's hard, ladies, because I mean, who are we kidding? We do care about how we look, right? But I don't want it to be so much about how I look or the number that's on the scale. I want it to be how I feel and getting my mindset wrapped around why. What is my why in doing this? And
Yeah, I think it's similar for guys, and it's similar for me. I'm probably, I don't even know. I don't know how most guys feel, because guys just don't talk about their weight and whether they feel fat or whatever it might be, right? So it's, for me, it's all about, like, I knew where a weight was that I was uncomfortable at.
right.
And if I'm honest with you, it was when my belly started hurting because it was rubbing on my belt buckle,
Yeah.
right? And that
Yeah.
bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, kind of the where I knew I had reached too much. And then as I've started to think more and more about what I'm going to want to do in the next few years, as far as retiring and
Activities.
and where we want to go and the
Yep.
things we want to do, I know that it's critical that I'm in a physical space to be able to do those things.
Yeah.
So that was the motivation for me. And like Robbie said, I 100% believe it is the most critical part of losing weight and keeping it off,
Mm-hmm.
is you have to want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you have to want it for the right reasons.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can't be because somebody says you're fat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it just, as you do it, it just needs to become our lifestyle. It just needs to be a part of who we are. And like walking and just being cognizant of our foods and our water intake and our sleep, like we talk about that and we think about that. And it is part of our life. We've
Yeah,
made it a part of our life.
I would say Robbie thinks about it and talks about it a lot more than I do.
That's true.
Mine's mostly just, I know I'm going to eat around once a day, and I may eat not very well at those things, as far as not high quality, super nutritious food all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just eating that one time.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself, it's a, let's face it, eating is a social thing,
Oh, very much.
so you have to, get your mind around, hey, sometimes it's not going to work,
Right.
because I'm going to be around other people.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and again, I think the biggest piece of it is you have to do it for you,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yep.
for your spouse who is looking down their nose at you, or you feel that they're looking down their nose at you, not for the neighbor who you feel like is so skinny that you don't understand how they do it.
Yeah.
It's not any about that. It's about you being healthy for you and for your family, so that you can be around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was just another video that I was watching recently that talked about the American healthy, I guess I'm not saying it right, but the average age that Americans are able to live healthily to. And it's only 66.1 years old.
Oh, my word.
I think we'll talk
Wow.
about that in another video at some point, but that just says to me that I need to do everything I can
Yeah.
to put that number out there farther,
Yeah.
right? Because I got it.
Yep.
That's only 8 years for me,
Yeah.
right? So I have a lot more things to do than I can get done in 8 years.
For sure.
So I guess if what we want to do, again, is just be encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
You need to feel as if you're doing the weight loss. You're out there running, or you're out there walking, or kickboxing, or yoga, or whatever is your activity of choice. And you're watching the food that you put in your mouth to whatever extent you're comfortable with.
Right.
You're doing it for you, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to stick to it.
Yeah. So I hope that maybe something Rich and I have said today either inspires you, motivates you, just gives you that little extra nudge to get out there, do the best you can, take the best care of yourself that you can. We are definitely not health professionals in any shape, form, any of it. We are not nutritionists. We're not dietitians. We're just trying to do a few little things to make sure that our lives are as healthy as they can be, that we can stay mobile, we can have a great quality of life.
Yeah, so as you move forward in whatever your journey is, do what you have to do to eat the right amount of calories, do what you have to do to get active, but don't forget, take in some water, take in some liquid, get some sleep, get enough sleep. Can't stress that enough.
And most importantly,
yeah, get your head in the right space.
Get your head in the right space is right.
It's definitely going to be a journey that's worth going down if you can find some success.
Yep.
So if you want to see the one we did a couple weeks ago, you can check it out over there. And hopefully we will see you again on our next video. So thanks for watching, and God bless.